Hey, what is going on, my fellow Sagittariuses? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do your read for February. It is the monthly read. It's from now to the end of February. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I encourage you to comment down below. I know sometimes I watch videos myself and I want to comment, but I just don't. Whether I feel like it's a stupid comment or maybe somebody may just take it the wrong way, or I just don't know how it's going to come across. Sometimes I overthink the shit of everything. The beauty of being a Sagittarius. But put it down. Because most of the time when I don't say something, I end up regretting it. So, I try to read every comment. It may take me a while. Sometimes I get quite a few. But I try to, because I think if you took the time to write it, I should take the time to read it. Anyway, with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Sagittarius for February 2025? Every time I say 2025, I'm thinking, where the hell is my flying car? I thought we'd all have one by now. When I was a kid, I watched Back to the Future, and I thought I'd have a flying car. Why the lies? Why did they lie to us? Anyway, the first thing I see, Sagittarius, is I feel like this energy I feel is someone that you already know. I feel like there's already a connection with this person. But I do get the sense that it seems more of a physical connection. And I feel like that kind of stress, it causes some unwanted stress. Because this seems like a physical thing. And I feel like there's some anxiety, some anxious energy, some late nights not being able to sleep. Because, there's also this friendship here. This strong friendship that you have with this person. But I feel like sometimes it just feels like a friends with benefits type connection. This may be someone that you're already in a relationship with that feels like it's not quite the relationship you thought it was going to be. For others, this is a friendship that has that benefit, those side benefits, but you want something more from this person. Like you feel like it's something more. You feel like you've waited long enough for it to be what you want it to be. But it does cause you some late nights, some anxiety, because like I said, this is not how you planned it. This is not the dream that you envisioned. It's like I said, you've been waiting. And there's like I said, and to add to that, not to add fuel to the fire, but there's like this hot and cold energy. Like there's moments when it feels like we're about to take that next step. And then there's moments when it feels like we couldn't be any further from it. Sometimes feeling like that old feeling of their bags are packed and at the door waiting for the next best thing. their bags are packed and they just haven't told you yet. Sometimes feeling like you're just the in between from before to the next. And that's not a good feeling. I mean, feeling like you're just kind of like the waiting room, you know? And I feel like that hot and cold energy gives you that vibe sometimes. Like sometimes, like I said, it feels like we're about to take that next step. That person's about to confess that they really had, stronger feelings than they put out there. And then there's these moments when it feels like this could all fall apart at any moment. It's like that old saying, it's like being on thin ice. I feel like any moment it could break. And I feel like this puts you in your head a lot. I feel like you spend a lot of time in your head, like I said, with that, that nine of swords as well. And then we have the hermit. I mean, the late nights, the anxiety, feeling like, you're getting more into this and not knowing where they're at. Because over time, generally, when you have a certain connection with someone, it develops into something more, or feelings, you start developing stronger feelings for that person. So it's like, it to compare it to something, and it's probably a terrible comparison, but it's like the stock market. You buy a stock, and the stock is slowly kind of, it goes up a little bit, but then it goes back a little bit. It's like, do I sell now or do I hold on? Like, is this going to break out because you believe it's going to break out and that's why you bought the stock? You believe there's going to be a moment where it catches on and then all of a sudden it just pays out big. But then there's moments when those days when it actually feels like it's slipping and you're like, okay, how long do I hold on to this? I don't mean to be, that was maybe a terrible comparison. That's what popped in my head. And I don't know where it comes from, but there it was. I feel like we just haven't had that quite, we haven't had that honest conversation. The completely honest conversation. So, like I said, it feels like this person is hiding something from you. It feels like they're not telling you something. And sometimes when the people that we care about the most don't tell us something, it leaves us to our own device, where we're kind of have to feel like we have to fill in the blanks for ourselves. And honestly, even as a Sagittarius, being an optimist, sometimes it's hard to really put a good spin on things. Sometimes we look for a silver lining that may not be there. Now, more into how this person feels, because that's why you're here, not to see exactly how you feel or the way you're feeling, because you already know that. This is just laying the groundwork. What I see with this person may come as a shock. It may surprise you. Because I know from what I was saying, it definitely should surprise you. I feel like this person has been hurt before. And I feel like with that the 10 of swords, I feel like this person's been betrayed before. And I feel like this person really didn't intend to feel the way about you that they do. And once they started to feel that way, they started looking at the negatives instead of the positives. That's why they're not embracing this. It's not because they don't feel it. It's not because they don't want it. It's because it scares them. When I said that the bags are packed and at the door, that they're already out and they haven't told you yet, that's the type of feeling. That's just overthinking. And they didn't allow you much of a choice there. Let's be honest with it. I feel like it is overthinking on your part, but I feel like they kind of fed into that. What I see is what you've been waiting for is coming. That 3 of Wands, that ship finally coming in to harbor, finally getting what you desire. I feel like this person's already in. They just haven't told you yet. Like I said, when I said bags are packed and at the door, that type of feeling, like they're already gone, they haven't told you yet. There's something they haven't told you yet, but it's not that they're gone. I mean, this person wants to be here. I mean, they're on the same page. They want the same thing. This person loves you. With that Lover's card, I mean, this is what you saw and what you felt, that this was something more. You weren't alone in seeing that. I feel like you're on the same page there. You're just reacting in different ways. This person, it is fear that's holding them back to an extent. There is some self-sabotaging as well. Sometimes when we're not used to being happy, or or on another spectrum, when we're used to being let down by people, sometimes we kind of rush that. We meet someone, they don't let us down. They show up for us. They put in the work, and they're there for us. And it's almost like we try to force you letting me down. Or we're finding reasons for you to let me down. And it's a little bit toxic, I'm not going to lie. But it's a toxic trait that was learned, not born with. A lot of traits that we have that are toxic, that are considered toxic, are traits that we acquired. We weren't born with it. There's a reason we have it, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still our problem. You're cutting your lawn and a rock flings into your house and breaks your window. You got a broken window. May not be your fault, but you still got a broken window. And then we got to go back to where it is our fault. Maybe you should have checked the lawn better for the big rocks. I don't know. But it's also not our neighbor's fault. We can't blame them. What I see is someone they're on the same page. This is something more for them. Like I said with that Lover's card, that Gemini energy, you're not the only one that sees something more here. Like I like to always call this the iceberg love. And what I mean by that is it's apparent there's something there. You're floating along in the water, you see an iceberg sticking out of the water. It's obvious there's something there. And the closer you get, you start to realize how much is really underneath. They see it too. I just feel like this person has a hard time opening up. I mean, their biggest fear is getting hurt again. And to be honest with you, the person that hurt this person before, or maybe the plethora of people that hurt this person before, they didn't care as much about those people as they do you. So it's even more terrifying. Think about the fact that someone that, say you like someone, you're dating them and they cheat on you and it hurts you because you really like the person. Now think about if you fall in love with someone and the thought of that same incident happening. Say you meet someone you want to spend the rest of your life with, and all you can think about is how bad it's going to feel when that person betrays you. You've only experienced a fraction of the pain because you only had a fraction of the feelings. And let me be clear, that's not the right mindset. But that's the mindset of a lot of people. And I feel like this person included. And sometimes when we have that mindset, that's when the self-sabotaging comes. That's when we start to put things, uh, we start to imagine things that aren't real, and then we start to fear those imaginary things that we've created. And that's what I feel like this person is doing. I feel like they want to move forward with you. I feel like they truly care about you. I mean, you make them happy. But instead of doing all this work to move this forward, they've been doing all this work to not. With the 10 of Wands, I mean, the Sun card, this person is happy. They want to be happier. They know how to be happier. They know where their happiness lies. They know where they want to be. But like I said, happy ending, because I feel like this person is finally going to express some real, genuine emotion and express some real feelings. And I feel like that's finally going to allow this to move forward. Like I said, what you've been waiting for is coming. I mean, sometimes the person in our way is ourselves. Sometimes the worst place to be is in our own head. And I feel like this person is both. But they don't want to lose you. And they're going to do what they can not to. I just feel this huge turnaround for this person. And sometimes you got to wake up and smell the coffee, Sometimes the thought of losing everything snaps us out of the stupidness that we put out there sometimes. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes the fear of losing everything for us to wake up. Sometimes it's too late, but I don't feel like it's too late. I feel like this person coming around, and I see a lot of happiness in your future. Getting what you wanted. Trust yourself, because what you want is here. It's always been there. Sometimes people, especially in a friendship that's kind of like the friends with benefits type thing, they get very comfortable in that because they don't have to commit one way or the other. They're content. And as long as they keep getting that, what's motivation for them to ask for more? And that's the mindset. Again, that's the mindset. That's not what I'm saying. That's not advice. That's just how people are. If I'm getting the cake and eating it too, why do I got to buy the bakery? Because the bakery is going to close if you don't invest. You can't just have free baked goods and expect us to make money. Anyway, with this person, I mean, we have Aquarius, we have Gemini, we have some Taurus, some Libra as well. We have Cancer and Pisces. I mean, we have Sagittarius. And we have some Leo. You think everybody knows what's best for them. Unfortunately, that's wrong in a lot of cases. We don't always know when we have something great in front of us. Like I said, if you're getting your cake and eating it too, why buy the bakery? But I mean, this person wants to, like, they want that. But they also don't want to mess up what they have. You're not the stepping stone to the next relationship. Not with this person. You know, you're the one. And the problem is they're having a hard time just telling you it. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is the hardest thing to do, you know? Sometimes when you get hurt, it's hard to put yourself back out there again. But, you know, if you close yourself off, there's no benefit to that. There's no benefit for you. There's no benefit for your person. You know? Like my grandmother used to always say, if you died tomorrow, how would you want people today to know how you feel? What would you want to tell people if you knew you were going to die tomorrow? And live that way. Do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. Because sometimes tomorrow isn't promised. And that doesn't just mean in a morbid way that, you know, something's going to happen to you. You may lose the person that you care about if you don't tell them. And when they walk away, that may be the end. You know, they may not be a second chance. So do it right the first time. Don't wait for a second chance. Second chance means you failed once. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.